So we're going continental, boys, today, are we?
Oh yeah. What we're having a bit of bolognese.
A bit of bolognese without the spaghetti.
So Sean has brought in one of the new kids on the block today. He's brought in a new bolo rod for us to have a look at.
Yeah.
And it looks rather nice, mate, doesn't it?
It is rather nice. And I know bolognese is not for everyone, and it's not for you people who fish rivers will like it, but things move on, and people they always think they were heavy and floppy and a bit of this, but now technology moves on, and they're very usable bits of kit. And this particular one here is at the water resin range. The water resin is what they use in all the new poles and everything. It's a very stiff and responsive carbon. And this one's 6 meters, and it's got a 30 gram casting rating, which is not to say that it's stiff as such. It just means it's the float it can get out there. You can still catch small fish with it, but it can just handle them.
Plus the do lighter ones as well.
Yes, there is. There's one down in about 16 gram range and a 20 gram range. So this I'd probably choose this one for like the River Wye or something like that, or the 7. And the other one, and the 16 might be good for the Saw or the Don, and the 20 might be good for the Trent and them sort of Thames. That sort of thing.
Yeah. But so they do a 6 meter. Do they do any other?
Yes, there's a 7 and 8 meter in this one, but I think 6 is about as much as we want for the good old UK. And it's not just that; it's good for fishing in deep venues that are deep close in, or venues where you can't use a pole as much. You know, if you get like people walking behind you and everything like that. So yeah, it's I call it a whip with benefits, is what I like to call it. Because when you're giving it the old, I could have threw with another foot, if you've got a reel on, you can just pay a bit of line off.
Brilliant. But so the 6 meters, how much do they sell for?
This particular one, is going to be about $399-ish. And they go up to an eye-watering 900 sort of pound, which takes a very committed Bolognese sort of angler, doesn't it?
Yeah, but there is a place and a purpose for them.
There is, and a lot of waggler rods are touching £400 anyway, so it's not a million miles away from the mark where it's sort of a long rod.
Right, I'm more interested though in this, because Sean, before we started, was being Mr. Clever, and he was saying, I know what this red piece of plastic here is for. I says, oh, do you? I says, and what's that? So what's your take on it?
I think it's when it's all collapsed, it keeps all your runners in line and stops them rattling about. That's all it is in transport.
And that's a load of rubbish.
No,
it does do that, but the main purpose, and he didn't know this, and he was trying to be clever Trevor and say, I know what all this is for.
Every day's a school day is all I'm saying.
If you look on, and this will be on 99% of bolo rods, not just this one, it's on them all, because I know what the real reason for this is.
Go on then.
Right, if you look on the bottom of that plastic, it has got a little slot through it. Can you see that?
Well, it's focusing on it now.
Can you see it back in the finger?
I can see the slot.
Right, so the real reason for these is when this rod is down, don't squash eyes when you're doing that.
It's got quite a lot of floating eyes on this one.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, proper rods, aren't they?
Yeah. Right, here we go.
Right, so when you pop it away. Oh God, I need me specs on for this. It does do the reason, the thing what Sean says, as in it keeps your guides. Oh look, he's brought one. He's bent one.
Bend it back, there we go.
Can you see that, Tom?
Yeah.
No, it looks a bit fiddly. But
it's much less fiddly than what you're about to do after.
Yeah, so when that's all in situ like that, that's how you keep it, and that is to protect all them expensive rod rings. But that little eye there on the bottom of that rod is when this is on here and you've got your reel on.
Yeah.
What you do is you put your line through that eye.
Yeah.
And then when you take that off, it acts like a diamond eye threader for doing your pole elastic. So when you put your line through there, as you pull it, it's put the line through every one of them rod rings for you.
Genius.
So it does 2 jobs, but mine is the best one.
Yeah.
What it does. But Sean didn't even know that. He was bragging that he knew what exactly that bit of red stuff did.
I didn't say bright.
But that on every bolo rod they will have one of them, and most people will never have seen that on the bottom of it, and that is what it's for. So when you thread your line, when it's threaded through there, you simply pull your line through there, and every one of them, your lines through every ring then.
Yep.
Instead of you having to walk 10 metres down bank to thread it up.
Tripping over a molar or something.
So that is what that red piece of plastic is for inside the protective cover for the eyes. But they are a beautiful bolo rod then. And say even that one says strong on it, but that's for places like the Y and the 7. And you were down there the other week doing some filming, weren't you, Tom?
Oh, lovely.
That would have worked absolutely perfect with that.
Yeah, it'd be a dream
bolo
on
and
there.
bread.
Lovely.
If you are interested in one of them,
Give us a shout, yeah.
give us a shout and we'll sort you out.
If you want to wiggle, give us a shout.